Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. And today in this video, I'm going to solve a problem which I face. I will use JavaScript to solve that problem. The problem is when you go and copy something from Wikipedia, like I want to copy this and paste into a text pad. So when I select everything, all of these links also get selected, but I don't want links in my text file. So today I'm going to build a Chrome extension which will allow me to just remove everything like the links, the side panels, the table and everything and just get me the text part. It will remove this thing, main article, and I will just be able to copy this. I will also build an option to remove all of the images if that would be successful. But for now, we leave the images. We will just work on this file. And if you want to get the source code down, or if you want to download the source code, just check in the description. And I have uploaded the complete source code along with all the comments and everything. So now we will start working on our Chrome extension. So the first thing we are going to do is I am going to make something called manifest.json file. Manifest.json and also new file, and this will be content. This is where all the magic will happen. In pop-up there would be there would be a new file called pop-up. Pop-up is the icon which you guys will see here when you click this, like this weaponizer. This is called a pop-up. So this is the icon which will appear. So let's move it down there and continue. And along with pop-up, we need a HTML file for pop-up.html. Not in this. HTML. Along with pop-up, we need two CSS file to make it more stylish, and another one. This is for the checkbox which we are going to build inside the pop-up. So before working, we need to finish this so we can unpack all my extension in this file. And for that, I need to complete, because if I try to upload this, it will show me an error because the manifest.json file is not present, and manifest.json file is very important because it is used to define all of the details of the Chrome extension, including the meta tags, the public key, the extension, where it is, what it will do, and the name of this. So let's start working on our manifest. Browser action. So the browser action is the key that defines the action when the extension is clicked. The default icon key. Now we need one more thing. Default icon. And the default icon key is the image that will be displayed on the extension menu. That will be like you see an icon here. That will be the image. So we need to provide the location of the image. So img wiki 16. Yeah, wiki 16. Hello. img default pop-up, and this will be our HTML file which the users are going to see pop up. Yeah, in this, and that will be popup.html. After that, the title report. This is going to be clean copy Wikipedia. This is done. After that, we come to the commands. Commands. So the command key defines the action to be taken when the extension is clicked. So in this part, we are going to define all of the what is going to happen when we click on our extension, so that we do that in this part. And so the first thing is execute browser action. So the execute browser action key defines the action to be taken when the action is clicked. So when a user clicks on the extension, this is the first thing which is going to happen, and that will be open extension menu. And then suggested key. If you don't want to watch the video, I completely understand, because this is my first video and I'm trying to explain everything properly. If you don't want to, you can just read the article which is linked in the description. I have explained every code line by line along, and you will see all of the functions and everything. It's explained really nicely. So moving on, the suggest key defines the host key to the extension menu. That means if you press this key, it will open the extension menu. Default, because many people use Windows laptop, so we need to define the default from Windows. Control Shift plus E. This will open, and for Mac, it will be Mac control, which is Command plus Shift plus E. So this is done. Moving on. Now for coming to content scripts. So the content scripts key is this key. We will use it to define the scripts which are going to be executed on when the web page is open. So when the user clicks on it, this we will assign pages, files in this, and that file will be executed in this part. The key is used to define the JavaScript file to be executed. The matches key defines the URL pattern. So we will also define the file which we need to execute and the URL on which browser we are going to work. So the first thing is a JavaScript file, content.js, and then all of them. I want my Chrome extension to work on Wikipedia, so let me just I need this HTTP, and because there are pages, so we are going to change it to this. And we already got HTTP. We might also add HTTP. Sorry, in this part there is an S, and we might also add it without an S, because some people are lunatics and they are still using the old one, and I need to serve them too. And after the or this, which this stars represent that everything will be used which is in this part. The matches is done. Now the description. what description of our external copy pure Wikipedia text, remove all the links and tables and images. So this is done, and we need to add some icons. So just to add some pictures which will be helpful to user understand what's really happening. So icons and yeah, 128. So let's copy path true 16 64 48. And now I need to add the key, the manifest version, and the name. So I have already got everything which we need right here. Just paste it. This is Wikipedia copy and clean. I tell the name. And let's save it. And now let's try to open our Chrome extension. Let's just load and unpack and Chrome extensions. Select. So now there is an error, which is a really good thing. At least our Chrome extension is working. There is nothing showing it. No, nothing appears when I click it here. And that's all right because we need to edit our popup.html. So this part is done. So we have completed our manifest.json, and now let's start working on our popup.html. Title, do we need it? Uh, just remove it. Unless style sheet, type, text and CSS, Javascript style.css. And this will be now checkbox style. And this, and also the script JS file. This is a preloaded library, so I won't talk that much about it. This maybe in the next one. And after that, let's start working on a 48.png. Let's save it and look. As we are working, we can see all of the changes live. We just need to save it and changes copy path. Now we can see everything. The icon is going to appear. It won't appear right now because we need to fix a CSS file. We will work on that file later on. Now, app bar. Sorry, this is going to be the checkboxes. Which for class ch y items to remove. Let's save it. And now we should see items to remove. And let's add the class check box. Assign it a new ID and checked whether it's checked or not, and let's label it clear links and links. Now we should see one more thing, links, and it should be a checkbox. But voila. And let's just copy this part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, yeah. And this is for the images. This is for the content, which is the table and everything. And this is going to be for header, sidebars, etc. Which header and sidebar, I mean, say all of this part, all of these things. It will also remove this part. So clear links, no. This is clear content. Delete edit and delete nav bars. And will be delete navs, clear link, delete edit, and this is going to be clear content. So yeah, now let's save it, and now we can see everything. It don't look really nice because we haven't worked on our CSS. So it will start looking nice when we start working on our CSS. So there's no need to worry about it right now. Let's create another div. This is going to be buttons. This is will be a clear button which will clear everything. Raise, and this is going to, let's say, clear. Let's see. Yep, there's a button there. Or let's popup.js. So everything is done in this part now. We don't need to worry that much. So sorry. We can see clear and back. And you can also select which ones to remove and which one to leave it. Our file is complete for now. We can start working on our, let's give it some styling. Style.css. Let's just make it look really nice. and then we will start working on the JavaScript, which it does everything. Let's save. Let's see. Let me just minimize this so we can also see this line by line. No need to worry this constantly. So the body part width is 250. So this is the width of the body. 450. Like you see, you can also do it 175. Let's click it. Yeah, that looks really nice. And then now the width is done. We have set it to 175. Let me just do it complete 200. Save it. Alright, nice. Now the background color of this, I will be setting it to blue or just white. White. Yep, that's all right. And the height will be 300 px. Save it. Yeah, height is also done. Let's do MUI, the app bar, and we are going to set the background color to dark gray, and let's just say that important. Save it. Yeah. No, sky blue will be nicer. Yeah. And now img, the image icon, and the first part is the declaration of the class name, which is this. And now let's just set the position. And this position of this, so everything in this will be aligned to whatever I say, and the position is going to be absolute. Top 20px. So why the icon is not showing up? Manifest suggestion. Let me just copy this path again. So sorry. And let me just select the absolute path. I think it will work after some time, but let's just leave it now. Let's move on because this is getting a very long video and we don't want a very long video. Next up is all of the checkboxes. Yeah, checkboxes, and the margin is from the left side. It is going to be -5 px. Yes, that's all right. That's looking really cool. And label the name of all the text is font size 20px. Save it. Let me change the width to 250. Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. And now the buttons, the position is going to be fixed. This make the button stay at the bottom of the page even when we scroll. It won't move it from here. Then the bottom is 0 px. Move at completely the bottom. Let me change the height to 250. It will bring everything or 280. How about that? No, 60. Yes, that's look really nice. And the text align, the alignment of the text is going to be center. The text is aligned inside and the width is going to be 100%. So this make the button take up the entire width of the Chrome. So now it is aligned right in the center, which is cool, cool, cool. Now the checkboxes. Display will be block. Yes. Ma Margin is npx 0. And this is done. Let me just do one more thing and move it to like 10. Let's see. 5px. Yes, now everything looks nice and in the center. So we have completed. Now we need to complete the checkbox style. And once we are done with this, we can start working on our popup.js, which is a main file, which is decide how, which will tell what's going on inside the Chrome extension and how. So first we will do input checkboxes. Type checkbox plus all of the labels, and this now display is going to be block. This will display all the element as block. Position we are going to leave it relative, and let's just save it and see. All right, padding from the left. We will see checkboxes here. Oh, yeah, sorry. This is for checkbox. It's this, and checkboxes is the boxes. So XCS is that thing, the box itself, and checkbox is the text. So there's nothing to worry about. So this is from the margin will be set at 20 px from the bottom, which is, you know what, it is looking nicer. So I might remove all of this and just save it like that and leave it right here. We don't need to complete this thing. Yeah. We can start working on a popup.js, and so the first thing we need to do is define a variable called active tab parameters. So get the active tabs. And this will check whether the tab is active or not. So if it's active, true, and it will also get us the current window. It will also check that yes, is this is the current window. Now, so we have two buttons, and one is the button called clear, and another one is called button back. So we also need to assign it to a variable, so we know that we will know when that this button is clicked. So let btn clear document dot get element by id, and its id was btn clear. And for this, we are going to do btn back, and the id was btn back. So now this is done. So we are going to make another function, and that function is called button clear click. And the button clear click function is called when the user clicks the button with ID clear, which is this button right here. This is the button which user will press, and when the pop-up is open, so we need to make a function. So when he or she presses the button clear, everything including the links, image, content, whatever he has selected, all of them will be removed. So let's write a function clear click. So the first thing is let the message know that this is going to remove all of the content. Now links, clear links, and remove all the links, and just let me. There is an error because I also need to add a new function called clear links in the content part, and then the error would be gone. So let me just complete this images, and this will be assigned to clear content and dot checked. Sorry. Clear content and then delete edit. And this is going to be delete all the nav bars. So delete nav. This images table or the content, and this is going to be for the nav. Yeah. And now we can just put a semicolon and end this. Now query the active tab. And this is Chrome.tab query active tab, and the function is called import tabs, and what we want to get, that is tab. And Chrome.tab send message. And what this is going to do, this is going to send a message to content script whether the tab is active or not. So this is done. Now we need to So let me explain this in more detail what this is going to do. So the first line is the tab query method to get the active tab in the current window. The code passes in the active tab parameter which contains the property active which we assigned true. If it is true, then that means this is active, which contains the property tells the query method only to return the active tab in the current window. So it will only return the active tab in the current window. When the query method returns, it calls the function got tabs. The code passes the parameters called tabs, an array of all the active tabs in the current window. So this is a window, this is the active tab, and this is not active. So it will return this window. Since we only need to have one active tab, the array has only got one element. The code then uses the ID property to get the first element from the active tab. So this two line of code does a lot of things. It's really important for us. The code then uses the tab chrome.tab.send message method to send a message to the content script in the active tab. The code passes in the ID of the active tab and the message object, which contains the message text. The content script we add to the previous section receive the message and the writer next to the console. So that's it. And now let's just add another function btn back click. This is when the user clicks the back button. When the user will click the back button, the function btn backclick is called. This function btn backclick calls a Chrome, it will call a chrome.tab query, and it will get active. So the function btn backclick calls the chrome.tabs.query method, which will give us the active tab. The callback function got tabs is called with the active tab as a parameter. The function got tabs calls chrome.tabs.send message method, this method, to send the message back to the active tab. And that's it. Now we need to add just two more things, and that is to clear the screen, btn clear and image listener, and when it is clicked, btn clear click. This is done. Let me just copy because we also need for back btn back dot click btn. So now this, let me just refresh this and see our Chrome extension right here. I need to remove the link. It might not work because we just have assigned functions to get us the active tab. Now we are going to work on our content, which is the main thing. With this is where all of the magic is going to happen. So let me just add two lines of code. Console.log. I'm working. This means that we are working in JavaScript. Chrome dot runtime on message. Now let's create a function called got message. So function got message, and we are going to pass three arguments here: sender and send response. So, so the got method is called when the content script receives the message from the background script. So this is the background script, and this is the content script. Got message will take three arguments: messages, sender, and the send response. The second argument is the sender, the third is the second response. If the message will contain a clear property, so not clear, and if this is true, then delete all the stuff. Delete stuff. This means that everything which is added by the Wikipedia staff, it will be deleted. The message. If this is true, then we replace all the links, and we will replace if when we and further on we are going to iterate through all the page, iterate through all the divs and everything to find elements, and we are going to replace the all of the links with something with with nothing, so that when we copy it we don't get any trouble or anything which we don't message. Sorry, this is going for tables. If that is true, remove all of the tables. This will help us remove all of the tables and remove element. This is going to be info box. And this is for the images. If there are images, remove element. The thumbnails, remove element, and this is for the img. And if there are navs, so then clear all, else reload the page. So this function, we are going to find all the tables, the links, the images, and the nav. If we aren't able to find it, it will just reload the page so we can get a fresh start. And after that, we are going to create another function, delete stuff. Now we are going to create a function that will delete most of the element added by the Wikipedia star. That's why we call this the delete star. I'm going to explain line by line what's going to happen. So let's create a function, delete star, remove elements, no wrap, remove no print. So remove all the print, remove element, everything, the reference bar, which is at the end of the Wikipedia page. So this is all of the references. We are going to also remove this. Sorry. We are going to remove all of the edit section, which is where it is. Oh, when we maximize the page, it shows. So it won't show right now. Remove element, and this is going to be the plain links. Move element. This is going to be the cat links, which is we don't see these links, but they're important and we need to remove it. And then the nav box, vertical nav box, remove elements, of IPA and change style. Oh, there is an error. There is an error. Where it is. The function change style, we will use this function to find all of the H1 elements and remove all the borders and the bottom. So with borders and I mean these lines, we are going to remove it. We are going to find all of the H blocks, and we will also, this will help our page look more prettier. Document by tag name, and our tag name is H1. This is 0. Let's try. Border is going to, and this is going to be 0px. H2, and let's loop through everything. So this function is now, we are going to make another function. This is to remove all the elements. Now you see. Parent node, the remove child, and this is going to remove all of the each. And now we need a no print function. Remove no print. So the function identifies all the element with the class no print inside the Wikipedia page. Yeah, and we are going to use a query selector all like this one. Once it has find everything, it will loop through each element through with for loop, and it will find and it will just remove it, so that when we want to copy something, we won't be bombarded with too much things content. You select all. This is going to be name of the div, or what do you call the element, the name. Let no print. Remove the child, throw it away, abort it. Done. Now the second last function, the function clear all. This function will get all the text in the div with the classes MW parcel output. Then it will replace the inner HTML of the body with the text from the MW parcel output. And after that, just set the style of the body. So this function, clear all, document MW parcel output. Find the inner HTML. And padding, it is going to be 20px or 50px. This is the clear word. No, 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 no. Yes, yes, yes. Everything is, we are almost done now. So object dot assign document dot body dot styles. So this is done now. And then we are going to our last function. And this will replace link. And we are going to replace all of the links in this file. And then we are done. By ID. Yeah, we are going to provide the div IDs. A dot not image means that not an image. Select everything, but not Anyways, I iterate through all of the links. Let p is equal to document that create element, and we are going to create an empty span, that is the bracket a, this and that. We are going to create an empty one, so we can just add it. So now everything is done, and I don't see any errors, which is a good thing, but I see a lot of oh shit. Message sender. Let's see whether this thing works or not. So I need to remove all of the. So it is not working right now, and I need to fix. So after doing some changes and making some changes, the extension is now working. So let's try remove just the links and clear. Yeah, all now you see all of the links are removed, and if we press back, then all of the links are back. And we can remove everything, links, images, and just clear it, and everything is removed. Now when we copy something, we don't copy the stuff we don't want, we just copy the pure text. We can also remove the histories of like the headings. We just need to check header and just clear. Well, it clears everything. Hold on. Let's clear it. I need to, we will fix this problem in the next part. So till then, thank you guys for watching, and also check the link in the description. I have added all of the comments. You can download the code and along with the PDF file which explain everything in detail. If you want that, just check the link in the description and we are good to go.